Morning everybody, Jason, Hollis Outdoors. As y'all can see, I'm sitting on a tractor. Personally, I think it should be illegal to crank a tractor during deer season, but here's what I got to do. We got two clear cuts. Got one right here behind me, as y'all can see. Y'all can see how brown it is. It's already been sprayed. It's been sprayed in July. And all the hardwood, woody competition, whatnot is dead. I needed to let it get a frost on it. We have had a couple of frosts, one pretty good one, and I've got to burn it. We replant these trees usually right after deer season, some January, February, whenever it is, and it'll be so much better if I can get a good fire through it right now. I won't let them plant it. I've done that before and it don't turn out as well. If I don't get to burn it, we won't plant it. We'll wait a year. But I need to get this done, as bad as I hate to during deer season. But it may be too dry to do these fire lanes, but I'm fixing to start and catch a good day. We're supposed to be getting some rain, which we need the rain. I would really like to have a rain before I burn, let it dry back up and then burn it, because it is dry right now. So anyway, I'm gonna start working on my fire lanes, kind of easy until not in that big a hurry, and then we'll catch a right day and try to get both of them burned in the same day. It's a lot of natural growth pines, probably 18 inches, 2 foot tall. I really want to get them smoked down. The chemical will do its job on the woody stuff, and then we'll burn the pines, and then we'll replant it and be ready to go. So let's see. This disc may not even go in the ground. All right, y'all, so some of it did pretty good, some of it didn't. I really need some moisture in the ground. These little old lightweight discs need some moisture where it'll sink up a little bit. So, but I got it opened up a little bit now. We get a little rain and sinks in there, we ought to be able to disc it pretty good. All right, y'all, so we finally got some rain. And as bad as I hate doing anything like this down here during deer season, fixing to work on this fire lane here, and at some point I have got to burn this clear cut here. And some of it I'm gonna be burning is some that got thinned year before last. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that while I'm here around this cutover. That is doing a lot better since we got some moisture in the ground. We can do something now. right there did some good since we had some moisture in the ground now. So I had to disc one fire lane right there behind the barn, not but about, kind of comes to a corner, I don't know, 150 yards long. I'm gonna run up here and check my main fire lane, and waiting on this wind to pick up a little bit. It ain't gonna be the best day to burn, but it might be our only day. We ain't gonna be able to get both clear cuts, but hopefully one today for sure. Wind's picking up pretty good. I need a big frost this morning. Sun's out, about to air out. I think we'll be okay. I'm gonna check this fire lane, then we're gonna get the torches out. All right, y'all, so here's what we got. We got some older timber right here that we thinned, I think, 2 years ago. That's on the south side of this clear cut. Clear cut's right here. This is an old loading ground where some short pines is coming up, but clear cut's right here. And then on the other side of it, we've got some pines that was thinned 2 years ago also. My main project for today is the clear cut, but while I'm here and we're working, kind of get ahead of schedule, I may get these two thinnings. As a matter of fact, I may start on, the wind's kind of coming from the northwest. That's northwest right there. I may start up here on this thinning, and then we'll light it and work this way. We'll kind of take my time. We got short pines, got a good gravel road on two sides. And then we made our fire lane, and we got some young pines on that side of the clear cut. That's the main, that's on the west side, so the wind will be coming this way. So I'm gonna probably try to get that line on that west side from the north down the west first. Once it starts coming this way, we should be good to go. I think it'll burn. It's a beautiful day. The wind's kind of picking up. We got to get it because we got some rain coming in. We're about to run out of time. I don't know if I'll, depending on the weather, get to the other clear cut. But the way that one clear cut was, I burned it a couple years ago. It's not near as much stuff there, but this one needs it. I want to get both of them. I'm going to try. I won't today, but maybe we'll get an opportunity to get that other one later. All right, so my torch is nearly full from last time. I think I got this mixed 3 diesel to 1 gas, maybe something like that. Go ahead and top her off. This is your cheapest management deer for cheapest habitat management tool. Can't talk, kind of in a hurry. All right, I'm not sure if this is gonna start right here or not. It's still kind of shady, but we're gonna try. I'll just watch that for a minute and kind of see how it took off like it was fixing to. Wind's kind of up and down. Maybe it'll get steady here in just a little bit. All right, so I came around here where the sun had been shining for a little while just to see what it'll do. That's going good right there. We might get going here in a little while. So once this thing gets going here in a little bit, I could go a lot quicker, but I always just kind of go a little bit at a time, being by myself, in case something tries to get out. I can run get the tractor. Well, I usually got the tractor right here with me, but I'm pretty close to the barn, so, and it's really Can't go too far here. It gets kind of tricky sometimes by yourself. But I got a good fire lane. I think we're gonna be all right. The wind's doing good. Main thing is this cutover, but I wanted to see what this would do, and it's doing good. You have to watch them little spots where there's a bunch of pine straw where I was disking. It probably ain't gonna back across it. It's nice to catch this wind right, so if it does start backing, I can catch it. I always want to fly my drone when I'm doing this, and I'm not sure exactly where it is. And plus, I get so wrapped up in trying to make sure the fire don't get out. These little places like this, when I kind of get ahead, I come out here and kind of stomp them out. That would be, I think I know where my drone is. I hadn't had it out in so long. I think it's on the back seat of the truck somewhere. It would be cool to do. Maybe I'll do that on one. I just don't never, for some reason I don't never think about that. That right there is doing good. That wind will kind of stay up. We might have a super day at this. Sure pays off to have a good fire lane. Some of it's still a little damp, and then the wind kind of lays, and then it'll pick up. If we can get that steady wind, we'll be all right. I found that on these thinnings, that you need to let it, almost like you thin it in the summer, let it go through that winter, go through another summer, and start growing back up, and then let that frost hit it, and burn it sometime that winter. I usually don't do this during deer season, but since it was close to this clear cut, I am. But just need to get more fuel on the ground where it'll burn. I feel still got a little bit of moisture from the rain, but the sun keeps coming out. We're gonna be all right. I'm about ready to go. I want to get this whole line before I start that clear cut. All right, so I come to start this clear cut. There's some little hardwoods right on the side here, a bunch of leaves, and sometimes they are hard to get going. When it creeps out there to where they've sprayed, everything's really good and dead, it should get going. The main thing right now is to get me a good black line down here where I know it ain't gonna back up. The wind was doing good a minute ago, and now it's done swirled and coming back this way. We don't stay at it. I believe we'll be all right here in a little while. Maybe still just a little bit early. I want to time it just right. If I got it going when that wind hits, we'll be all right. All right, y'all, so I was hoping I could get it to go from the edge of the field. I was afraid I was going to have to get out here and walk this clear cut. So I just hit me a skid trail and lit it. I am hoping if that wind picks up, it goes pretty good. Some of this back here I lit a few minutes ago sounds like it's going pretty good. Boy, this right here, get all this stuff burned up, and them little natural growth trees burned up, and they come in here and plant it this winter, about January, right after deer season, end of January. Talking about some food on the ground, briars and honeysuckle. Might get going. A clear cut's tough. All right, so I got some of it on the edge going here pretty good, and it's going out in there pretty good. Oh, I've walked enough to burn this thing 3 times. Wind just won't stay up for me. If it gets steady, we'll be in business. All right, so this is the one I gotta watch real close. That's just some old natural pines that come up. I want them burnt. These over here has been planted, 4 or 5 years old, whatever they are. I can't let it creep across here. Finally got a decent little wind going right here. All right, so this up here where we thinned that I lit earlier has been creeping around, and tend to do that. You kind of get it lit and the wind lays and gets up. It'll creep around and do some good. It's almost made it to the gravel road. That's good. Yeah, that's gonna work out pretty good. It's gonna get 85%, might get 90% of it. Some of it's a little wet. Might get 90% of it before it gets done. Alright, so I jumped over here below the clear cut in this thinning and went ahead and lit that and let it be drifting that way. So we pretty much got everything lit now. I'll be lighting some more as we go. But it ain't doing too bad. It's 10 minutes to 12. So we got some time. Short days, so you gotta, and after about 2 o'clock, boy, it's gonna probably lose all our wind. I'm gonna get as much lit as possible. Alright, so I finally made it around to the gravel road and get away from these little trees. Let this get underway. Might get a break and go to the truck and grab me some lunch. I done got hungry. Doing good. The wind finally got up pretty good. Alright, y'all, so here's what's for lunch. Got Wild Hog summer sausage, got some corn chips, and a Dr. Pepper Zero. And I just took me a good old muscle relaxer for this back. Sucker will be sore tonight. Alright, so we're on all the way on this side from where we started this morning. That thing had done creeped around down a ditch and was coming up the road. Been rolling while we've been working around there, and I just lit that line down through there and let it run to it. Oh, it's nice when you get a little breeze. It sure helps it go. I thought it would go if it ever got some wind going. It's done come way over here. It's done got into them piles. Shoot, yeah. Gonna end up having a good day. Well, I'm glad them piles is burning that good too. I thought about going out there and lighting them a while ago, but I ain't got to light them now. Alright, so there are some trails that cut through here. Kind of trying to take advantage of what wind we got before it gets too late. Make it a little faster riding down these trails and going ahead and lighting it. If I got caught in the middle of that one. It's still a little cooler day riding around on that Ranger. With the windshield down, it's too nasty to raise up and I didn't clean it. But I bet you today I ain't used, and I bet I ain't used $10 worth of fuel. It was by far the cheapest management thing we do on the habitat for sure. Once you get it sprayed one time, that's pretty costly. Like they sprayed it this summer. We can control it with fire now. Ended up doing pretty good. Oh, look who I got with me now. Got PJ out for a little while. We'll get Spur out in a few minutes. I didn't want to get them both out in this mess, this fire for the same time. Alright, y'all, so I had the first fire drill of the day. I'd never had this happen. It was burning around this pipe, and dadgum, it got in there and it has burnt the whole pipe all the way through. Golly. Now I gotta get a culvert. Ain't no way to put that joker out. The road's done started falling in. Golly. Man. I'm just glad I got her stopped because I didn't want to burn over here. Oh man, PJ. Well, the fire didn't get out, but it burnt the pipe up. I mean, it got hot. It was shooting out of there, and I was trying to put the fire out. Golly. That got to be a mess there for a minute. Golly, them big old pipes expensive too, and I done smoked it. It's gone. Ain't no way to put it out. Here's the PJ. PJ ain't crazy about all this. Well, I'm just glad I got it put out and it didn't spread. Whew. That's a big pipe too. Not no more. It's gone. Let me get away from here. It's hot. Alright, we're getting close to the barn here. A fire drill. Alright y'all, I had a major fire drill a minute ago. I come back down here to check on the culvert that burned up, and it was shooting plastic flames out of here. And I had to go run back to the barn and get a rake and rake all that back. We was fixing to, I still need to keep an eye on it. We just burnt that last year, and I sure didn't want to have to deal with that today. But it looks like we're gonna need a new pipe, don't it? I mean, it smoked that thing. I never dreamed of that. I guess it could have been a lot worse, but I never dreamed of, I don't know if there's enough trash in there to catch it, or I don't know, or enough stuff up against it, but boy, when it started, I said, I'm gonna go get some water, and before I know it, it was shooting out both ends. God. It's burnt. I just kicked it. Oh, it's smoked. Golly. Alright, y'all. I finally got to where I felt like I could get the dogs back out. Hopefully all the fire drills is done for today. Hey, buddy. Those of y'all that are still watching, y'all keep on watching. I got one more thing I'm gonna do around this fire. Don't know if I'll get it done today, but one more thing to do. Alright y'all, so looking at my camera, look like it's acting goofy. Oh, I've been disking another fire lane for one more clear cut that I gotta burn this year. Got the puppies out for a little bit. I got something, one of our old section hairs that I dug out of the bushes. I gotta do a little bit of work on, and then I'm gonna show y'all the last part of what I'm gonna do for this last burn we did. Alright, so I hadn't section haired anything in a long time, and I had this one at the house. It's bent up a little bit. It does pretty good, but you know, they do a lot better when they're straight. So I dug this old one out for what we're fixing to do. I think this one's gonna be perfect to work these fire lanes. This thing's old. It's got chains holding it together, but I think it'll still do what we want to do. And I got this right here that's broke. I got me some little quick link things that I'm gonna try to put this thing back together. Alright, so I got a couple of these things. I think they'll be strong enough to do what I want to do. I may not even need, I think I'll need both of them though. I hope they open up enough to, I may have to bend that one. Golly. And it'll go around that chain loop. Hey, Spur, you gonna help? I'm gonna have to bend this one a little bit to get it to go around my main part there. Thought I was gonna have to bend it, but I'm moving y'all around. I was able to just kind of tap it around there, and it went on. I don't know if I need both these or not. I think it would be better if I did. Got slack there. I think one might. Nah. I don't know if one's gonna reach. I think I'm gonna put two on there. We'll get it hooked up. We may have to take one of them off when we get it hooked up. I think these will be plenty strong enough for what we want to do. You're not gonna go around there. Alright, there we go. Alright, get these tightened up, we'll hook it up to the tractor. Alright, got the old section here hooked up. We'll go up here and see if she'll stay together and see if we can slick this thing off. My plan is, after we disc it, slick it off with this section here, that way come summertime when the grass grows back in it won't be so rough to bush hog. Get it back smooth as it was before we started the fire lane. Overall, we had a really good burn. Just right here where we burned, where we had thinned. Come springtime, boy, it's gonna grow back up green, and out there in the clear cut also. But when they come in here and plant the pines back, probably end of January, 1st of February, they'll be able to roll right through it because it'll be clean as the pin, won't nothing grow back now that it's winter time. Alright y'all, it took me a minute to get the top link adjusted like I wanted. It's been a long time since I pulled a section here. But since we used the grain, no-till grain drill now, but it ended up doing good. That's kind of a new part of my burning process. I've been noticing I get through doing these fire lanes and burn and get in a hurry and I come back to bush hog or whatever, and my lanes or my little road trails are rough. I said, I got to fix that. So anyway, that's pretty much the process of my burning. Disc the fire lanes real good. I got lucky on two sides of this one, had a good gravel road. Burn it, and then now we hook the section hair up, slick that back off, and I'm gonna do my best to stay off them spots with the Ranger and stuff this winter when it gets real muddy, because I end up with ruts and need to fix it again. So, but if I stay off of it and kind of let it settle and let the grass grow this spring, summer, it'll be back like it was. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's kind of that old section here is all warped up. It's kind of hard to get adjusted. high on the front on one side and low on the other. It's probably hit a bunch of stumps and stuff in its time, but anyway, not a bad deal. So that's the whole process of the burning: disking, fire lanes, burning, and then section hair and slicking her back off. And now we're just waiting to plant the trees and then let her green back up. We'll catch y'all on the next one.